G'day, I'm going to show you how I whip up a roast chook. So when I cook a roast, doesn't matter what sort of roast it is, I'll make two. So 2 roast chooks or 2 roast lambs or 2 roast porks. Then I've got leftovers that I can bang in the freezer, or I will use it for lunches and make salads and things in the days afterwards. So a chook is so easy because it's like 45 minutes. So I'm just going to show you how I whip that up. So I've got a couple of chooks that I'm going to butterfly, and it makes it super easy to whip it up. Cook it, you know. So first I'm just going to cut down with some scissors, or if you've got a chopping knife, but I find the scissors a bit easier, down the back of the chook. Hack away there. So I've patted it dry with paper towel. So what we want to do is we just want to cut the wishbone there to get it open. And I don't know where it is, so I just hack away in there and you'll feel it want to pop open. Turn it over. Ta-da! There's one. Wash your hands, of course, because chook's pretty gross. Now that's fine on its own if you want to keep it really plain, but plain is plain Jane. So I'm going to bang some spices on top. Take your pick of what you want. If you just want to throw mixed herbs on there, then go for it, who cares? Doesn't really matter. So I've got paprika in this one. And if you just have a look, I am sprinkling that liberally all over. And some cumin, same. Don't be too fussy about how much. Give it a good sprinkle. Black pepper, you might want to be a little bit more careful with. But that's ground black pepper, so you get a nice covering of the pepper flavour. And then some herbs, whatever. I've got oregano. Now, can you see how heavily coated that is? That's what you want. If you weren't in such a hurry, you might stick some onion or carrots and celery and that sort of stuff underneath. Salt, super important. You want things to taste good, and salt enhances the flavour. This is Himalayan salt. It's got heaps of minerals, about 84 different minerals. They are not going to give your blood pressure a boost. Coat it in a little bit of oil of some sort. So you could use coconut oil. I know it's solid, but when you massage it in, it will still combine. I've got some ghee here. I love my little rack here. I just have my teaspoons at the ready and all my other utensils. I can't be bothered opening drawers every 5 minutes. So I'm just going to put a couple of blobs of ghee on there, and that's going to help me mix in the spices. So this is where you get your hands dirty. If you don't like getting your hands dirty, then you could use an oil like maybe macadamia oil and just sort of drizzle it over, but you're going to get a better result if you massage it in. So here we go. And get in all the crevices, rub it all around. It's gross, yes. Some people hate touching chicken. I've got friends that think it's really gross, but the end result is so worth it. The ghee gives the beautiful crispiness to the chicken skin. Don't be afraid of the chicken skin. It's a healthy fat. These are free-range chooks, of course. It's hard to find organic where I live, so I do my best with what I have available. So I'm going to pop some garlic cloves underneath there as well. Chop the end off. Right, so I'm going to chuck them underneath these babies so that the flavours infuse underneath the skin. And then we'll mash them up to put in the gravy afterwards. So that's it. Now chuck it in the oven. I've got it at 180 and I'll go for 40 minutes to start with. Check it and then maybe give it another 10. We'll see how we go. Check it out. So I can tell already that's probably not cooked. It's just a little soft still in the breast. get some of those flavours on top again. There's some beautiful juices in here that will go lovely in the gravy. Gravy, baby. Perfecto. So I'm going to pop that in for another 15. You'll start to see the skin split away from the drumstick. That's a pretty good indication, but otherwise give it a poke with a skewer, and if any blood runs out, make sure the juices are clear. Here we go. So that's it. That's cooked and ready to go. Super crunchy. Those wings won't last long. Someone will come and pinch those off, I know it. So one is going to be cooled down and pulled apart for lunches and other things. You can put it in with other dishes. I keep the bones and chuck them in a broth, so that's really cool too. So all this here I will turn into gravy. That's so you don't need brown colouring, because there's beautiful juices in here that make the gravy brown. We'll let these rest for a little bit, and then I will chop them up for you and show you how to do that, because some people freak out about that too. You'd be surprised. Cooking it and then just letting it rest finishes it off and keeps it nice and moist. So I'm going to cut one up for you so I can show you how easy it is to portion it out and pull it off, basically. Then I'm going to cut through here. Can you see? And there's a joint, and you'll find it. There it is. Don't cut on the plate because you'll scratch it. Then cut through the wing. I just cut the flesh, and then I kind of pull it to see where the joint is. And you just hack around, you'll find it. And then the breast, just cut down that bone. And just kind of run the knife along the rest of the bone. Pick it up and cut down towards the joint. Just give it a yank and you'll find. And you could cut that in two pieces, that one, it's massive. So then you've got the bones. You can pick all those little bits of chicken off, or the kids will come and attack that later. And then you can see you've got all this beautiful juice ready for your gravy. So you could strain that if you like, but it doesn't really matter. You can see that the fat has separated here from the juices. I wouldn't put all that obviously in my gravy because that's massive. I would pour some of that off into a jar, and you can cook with it later, or pour it on your baked potatoes and your baked veggies. So then you're saving money and effort because it's already melted, ready to go. There's our roast chicken. Believe it or not, I've got 3 semi-adult sized boys in my family, plus a husband. We can manage to have that with some leftovers. We don't eat a whole chicken between us. And then we've got some left over for lunch. So that's awesome. So I've still got that one to cut up, but I won't bore you with those details. Okay, enjoy trying that one.